Hello everybody, I'm the Awesome Jimbo. Welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime. And so in the last episode, we ended up getting the Phazon Beam and beating the Omega Pirate, and we have access to every single upgrade in the entire game. Or every single weapon arsenal, whatever, in the entire game. And so now we are ready to do the, the absolute worst part of the entire Metroid Prime first game. And yay, we're found ourselves in a room full of my least favorite enemies in the entire friggin' game. And now this time this is going to be my very last recording session for this game, since or at least I hope it is, because I intend to or okay, I don't know what happened there, but I intend to finish this game, and I have decided, yeah, I am not going to go out of my way to 100% this game, even though there's some people that absolutely want me to do that. I am not going to do that because that's too, I don't know, this just feels a bit too bleh, time-consuming. And fun fact, I have never 100% of this game. I haven't even 100% of my top 3 favorite video games of all time. And this game is in my top 3, and I still, to this day, have not 100%ed it. And I honestly don't have much of a desire, because you only get just like a bonus ending at the end of it, so I don't really think it's all that worth it. But I will go right ahead and put... I guess I can just sift through YouTube and find the ending cutscene. I will collect every single collectible I can get my hands on. I make no promises to 100% the game. If I happen to do it, great, but I'm not going to go out of my way to look for every single... Okay, that was a thing that happened. So I actually... Jerk. So I actually... Happened again, that's so funny. I actually... Blah, I can't talk today. So I actually tried to pop this in a while back, and I mean a while back. It's been a while, not just because of work, but also because it's near the end of September, and it's probably gonna be it's like a couple days before September is over, and I gotta say, I'm not gonna go into full details, but this has been one of the worst months. This has been the worst month of my entire life, no questions asked. I'm not going to go into details because I don't think anybody wants to hear me bitch and moan about what's been going on in my life. It's like, I had a bad day the other day because I went to McDonald's and they didn't have my proper, they didn't have ketchup or something. I don't know why I would moan like a bitch about that, because I don't like ketchup. Fun fact, I hate condiments on my food. I straight up detest it. But that's kind of off the stuff. It's just, a lot has happened. I'm not going to bother going into it because it's kind of personal information, but it's also kind of the reason why Top 10 Injustice 2 characters is not done yet. I've also kind of been losing the drive momentarily. Okay, that's great. But that doesn't mean the video was canceled like my top 15 games I played in 2015 part 1. But that's because I lost the drive for that script because I thought I wrote it very poorly. That's why that video is not coming out. Top 10 Injustice 2 characters is going to be finished, but I might have to change a thing or two, but it is going to come out before the end of the year. That's like the only thing I can say at this point. I don't know. It's just been a very hectic time. This has been a very busy month. The best thing that happened this month is that the new Spider-Man came out, which I gotta be honest, I was not excited for. Oh boy, was I stupid to think so. Yeah. Like I said before, I'm not going into immense detail on like what's been going on, because like that's personal information. I don't really feel like it feels a little disrespectful to the situation, I guess. That's not the proper way to say it, but it's a very personal stuff. But at least the new Spider-Man has been keeping my attention. This is easily one of my favorite games that I played this year. It hasn't topped Monster Hunter World or not Monster Hunter Gen Ultimate. It It hasn't topped... Oh wait, I have to double check every area, so I gotta see stuff I've missed. I will go out of my way to find stuff I have not explored just yet. But so there's this area which I have. There was a Chozo artifact in here, but we already got that, so we don't have to worry. Is it Chozo artifact? I think I have explored every single room in this area. So unless I missed something, okay, besides that elevator, unless I missed something, a Chozo artifact, I'm not going to come back here. So I'm sorry, but Phase on Mines is already done. So like I said before at the beginning of the episode, I'm not going to 100% this game. And I'm not going to go out of my way to try 100%ing this game. The only thing I've collected everything of is the super missile variations of each and every single weapon, and oh, that's great. I forgot to turn the stopwatch on yet again. Okay, there we go. Okay, great. I have like 2 TVs set up here outside the living rooms. I still don't record outside of the inside my own room in my new apartment because, again, it gets really hot in there. I mean, it's getting colder outside, which I thank the high heavens for, but I just... it just gets too hot in there. It's getting colder outside, but it's getting hot in here. And, of course, my brother and I, we both heavily agree that it sucks. Okay, so... I had a feeling I was supposed to talk about something. Oh yeah, Spider-Man. Honestly, so many people were super hyped by it. I should have been super hyped by it because, well, it's made by Insomniac Games, and those guys, even their worst games like Ratchet Deadlocked, which I haven't played, I've heard is pretty good, and Song of the Deep, which I have that game, but I haven't played it. Everyone says that game is really good, and I can kind of agree. It's just got a lot of design flaws. I mean, they've made games like Spyro. They've done Spyro, Ratchet and Clank. I was going to say Jak and Daxter, but that's Naughty Dog. And that series is dead AF, which I'm perfectly okay with. I don't really... because the series did kind of derail because it was handed over to another company. Alright, so we're going to go to this area next. We're going to have to backtrack to Fendrana Drifts, and oh, guess what? This is where the last energy tank is. But Spider-Man, I can't keep a simple train of thought, even after it's been almost a month since it's been over a month since I last played this, but then I was like, you know what, screw it, I just want to play Final Fantasy IX. Yay, we got every single energy tank, and I'm probably not going to get every single missile expansion. I have 180, the max cap is like 255, I think. I really hope I'm right about that. And you also got to excuse me, it's also getting a little... don't know why, but... Spider-Man is easily my favorite game made by Insomniac. That's no joke, and that's... of course, my previous favorite game of theirs was Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. And you'd be like, well, okay, why the heck isn't it Spyro? I've only played the first Spyro, and I've also played A Hero's Tale. I played the demo of it. I haven't played the whole game yet. I would like to add it to my collection. I did recently buy, like a month or so ago, buy the Spyro trilogy on PlayStation 1 on the PlayStation Network store on the PS3 because I don't really feel like spending more than $6 on these games. I don't know why, but I mean, it's just like I've said before, I prefer physical copies of games because I prefer playing on consoles as opposed to PC. Like, I don't have a PlayStation 1. I do have the PS3, and it'll play PS1 games, and I can also play it on PS2 if I wanted to. Don't really know I want to, but... so I intend on going back to it. And if I could just try and keep train of thought, which is kind of impossible for me right now. Like, I hope you guys haven't been taking a drinking game every single time I've lost my train of thought in this entire Let's Play alone. If you haven't, well then that's good. You're still amongst the land of the living. And yes, I did rip off Sunburned Albino. Hashtag no shame. Okay. Uh, what the heck? Do I have to grab onto it? Dang it. I'm gonna get stuff I can find along the way. So Spider-Man is my favorite game made by Insomniac, and that's not exactly a title that you can go around flaunting very easily, because, I mean, yeah, Insomniac, they're really good at what they do. They've made really good games. Son of a bitch. Like, they made all those games, and yet this one ended up being my favorite. And like, why is that? I mean, truth be told, I am not a Spider-Man fan. I think he's like one of the most overrated heroes in the entire franchise. I mean, he's cool. I don't dislike him. Okay, now I can't reach that. So can't reach it now. Alrighty. Well, I don't know. Okay, you know what? I got a lot of stuff to say, so I'm gonna go ahead and extend the length of this episode. And as long as it possibly takes, so I can go ahead and get some talking points across. So I guess I only have like 2 episodes. I'm just going to extend the length. This is going to be the Chozo Artifact hunting episode, and it's also going to be the most boring to watch, but probably the most entertaining to listen to. But, like, the game was first announced. I gotta be honest, I had no interest in it at all. And, like, why would I not have interest in it? Because it looked amazing. Because I won't deny that. It looked absolutely amazing. But I don't know. There's just something about it that didn't click with me because, well, it's made by Insomniac, which, of course, that turns me into a blind rage because I have insomnia. Partial insomnia. Nah, just kidding. I mean, the game looked great. It looked like it had so much potential. It's made by Insomniac, so that's a plus. And it's basically Batman Arkham City, except instead of being the Batman, it makes you feel like Spider-Man. I mean, of course, that's like the most common thrown about phrase that you can have for your fancy Spider-Man game. But, like, you guys remember, if you haven't played the game, if you remember how... Gosh, I hate that. If you remember how good Spider-Man 2 on PS2 was, well, I can definitely say the new Spider-Man makes that game look like absolute trash. I mean, not that it makes it look like it makes it seem like absolute garbage in comparison. It's actually that good. I mean, like, I'm not saying that Spider-Man 2 on PS2 is trash. It's a very good game, but it's unplayable because the new game is just so much better. I mean, I've said this in my Injustice 2 video, which you haven't seen just yet, but it's like at the beginning of the video, that, like, the first game was pretty good, but now I can't go back and play that because the sequel is so much better. It's like, it does everything better, like, the graphics are better. But there's going to be some stuff that I say that kind of contradicts my opinion on the Injustice 2 a little bit in the video. I mean, my favorite characters list has not changed at all. And I was going to say not much, but it hasn't really changed at all. Because but really surprised me. I mean, like, if anything, I got some issues with Injustice 2. But, just finish up my thoughts on Spider-Man. Because I refuse to pronounce it like Spider-Man, because Catacross has kind of put that in my brain. But then I was like, okay, maybe I'll get it on Black Friday because it'll most likely be on Black Friday. It'll be super cheap. And then my brain was like, you want this game now? I'm like, no, I don't. It's like, yes, get it. And I'm like, fine. And then I picked it up. I don't regret it. This game is really good. I mean, for FTR, like, It's just, if I had any complaints, it's just like there's a couple side missions I thought got really boring. After the side missions are really disappointing. I mean, it's structured in a way that you would kind of expected after what Spider-Man 2 on PS2 did, is it made you feel like a superhero. It's like, oh, you get a kid's balloon, and you get a thank you, and that's about it, but you still feel good about that, because it makes you feel like a badass. Uh, that's kind of what that's kind of what it does here with some of the side missions. I mean, like, but you get like skill points, skill trees, and all that crap. So at least it's more worth it in the long run, because you can unlock new suits and make the combat more exciting or more interesting. Let's just, yeah, that's the best way to say it. There was no chosen artifact. We was just going to collect everything. I mean, like, yeah, I'll revisit every room at least once. Let's check this out. How do you like that? Like, there's the crime missions are busy work. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It just kind of got grating after a while, because later on in the games, like, crime gets more common, and it's just like, okay, can we please stop? You're throwing so many friggin' crimes at me like 20 times a day. I mean, yeah, I get it, but the crimes are the random crimes that pop up around the city, just like Spider-Man 2. How many times have I said that? Uh, it. I mean, it was structured the exact same way, and of course, luckily, it has more variety. And the combat, besides Web Blossom, which is a superpower you can obtain. Sorry about that. Web Blossom is like one of the most overpowered superpowers in the character powers in the game, as pointed out by a coworker. Whereas in Spider-Man 2, I discovered a combo that just basically destroys the game. It snaps the game in half and, like, kind of destroys the fun. And it's just like, well, okay, the challenge is completely gone because you can spam this one combo. But here, it doesn't have that. It has, like, different enemy types, so of course it keeps you on your toes on what you should do and what you should not do against certain enemies. Speaking of enemies, I really hate the guys with whips. They're not common, but oh my gosh, I fucking hate those guys. And yes, I am going to be. I am not going to be censoring F-bombs anymore. So if that's a thing, that's going to bother you, then I'm sorry. I don't apologize in the slightest. And of course, I do say some of that stuff in my future videos. But seriously, yeah, no apologies. But the guys with the whips, I mean, like, some people hate the guys with the jetpacks, which are in-game enemies, which those guys didn't bother me as much. It's just, I hate the guys with the whips because they can constantly destroy your combos. I mean, they constantly interrupt your combos, and they can interrupt your combos at any time, and they're incredibly difficult to counter because you can't use webs. You just have to perfectly dodge their attacks, which their attacks are nigh impossible to know when they're gonna attack sometimes, and it's really bloody annoying. So yeah, the guys with the whips are the most annoying enemies in the game. The boss fights are not very fun, in my opinion. The only one, like, honestly, the only one I actually liked was, I kind of liked the fight against the Shocker, even though that fight was just like every other boss fight in the game. In terms of spectacle, the boss fights are great. In terms of gameplay, they're not good. Like the Scorpion versus Rhino fight. Oh, spoilers, by the way. Whatever. I mean, it's in the advertising, so you can't be spoiled on something that's already been spoiled. But yeah, I think the story is really good. They actually made Mary Jane likable, unlike the movies. And and to my surprise, she was played by Laura Bailey, and her performance didn't make me want to scream. Didn't make me want to stab my ears with toothpicks. Like, I'll get into that later if I can remember anything of what I'm supposed to say about that. Uh, eh. So I guess you could say slight spoilers, but whatever. Eh, keep losing my train of thought. And some of the side missions, like I don't like the Fisk hideout missions, and I don't like the Demon Warehouse missions, and I don't like the prison fortress whatevers. They're enemy gauntlets that go on for way longer than they really should, and it just gets boring. But I also don't like the Black Cat missions. Like I don't know. It's like I know jack shit about Spider-Man. Well, I mean, Iron Man is my favorite superhero in in the Marvel universe. That's just my opinion, so deal with it. Because I do like how the first Iron Man movie portrayed him, but even then, he's my favorite. But I still don't know all that much about him. Heck. Oh, so I can just do this. There we go. I mean, like, yeah, this mission, this shows artifact is vague as hell. That's fun. So, I know nothing about them. I'm like, okay, so I guess that they had a romantic thing or something. That would be interesting to find out about, but you never see her. You never see her in the game, though I know there's DLC coming out, but I'm probably not going to get it. Or I might, I don't know. Sweet, I only have four to go. After I get that fourth one, we're just going to go straight to the Crater Impact, okay? Wait, what? How do I... Oh yeah, that's right. I play this game so much. It's just like I mean, they're not hard they're not really difficult. They feel like I can't help but feel that they were just tacked on. It's like they felt like they were last minute inclusions because it's like, oh, you snap a picture and you find cats and you take pictures of them. That's it. And I'm like, really? That's it? It's just I can't help but feel like that was a stupid last minute inclusion. It's just ridiculous. Okay. Uh, it's just yeah. The rest of the side missions are pretty solid. The other side missions are really solid. The backpacks are fun because you can learn more about Spider-Man. It's both really solid in teaching you about the world of Spider-Man, but it's also knowledgeable enough. It's more for fans, but at least newbies like me who know nothing about almost nothing, very little about Spider-Man. I never read the comics, which is why I'm saying all that. Uh, so whatever. Uh, yeah, and the boss fights aren't that great, and the Fisk hideout missions and other stuff like that. And oh, also the stealth is fine. It could have been way better though. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of like the missions where you play as Kid and Mary MJ. And those stealth missions, I actually really enjoyed those. That's like the only time I didn't feel like the stealth was completely broken, except I found out, oh wait, you can just walk right in front of them, and it won't trigger an alert. I mean, it's hilarious, but in terms of the combat, I think it's probably better than the Arkham games. In terms of the stealth, it fails in comparison. It's fine. Again, it's fine. It works. but it could have been way better. Because the reason I say this is because whenever you fight, there's this indicator that is like next to the enemy's name. That's like it says, "Oh, safe" and "danger." I'm like, okay, so that means I can't approach this guy willy-nilly, otherwise he's gonna pump me full of lead. But of course, it's also like that in Arkham Asylum and stuff like that, where enemies glow red whenever they have a gun, which, of course, approaching someone that has a gun without proper safety in those games is suicide, basically. And you don't want to do that. But then I found out, and then it's like danger. I'm like, oh, so then I realized that it says safe even when the characters, even when the enemies have, even when they have guns. It makes no sense. And then I found out it's like, oh, okay, so it tells you what it mean. No, what it means is it's not safe to or dangerous to approach them. It means it's safe or dangerous to attack them, to stealth take them down without being spotted. And I'm like, well, that's bass backwards, isn't that? That's kind of the point of using stealth, is to try and use your brain. That's why I like Metal Gear, because it's like, oh, you just have to use your wits and careful planning. I mean, like, that's not for everybody, for sure, but it is still good. I mean, it still makes you feel like a badass. But here, not so much. But then, I guess to be totally fair, it's like you need that for the Taskmaster challenges, where you have to complete stealth missions as fast as possible. Alright, no reason to go there. Now we're heading off this way. Like, so there's no point. It makes stealth unsatisfying, except for the Taskmaster challenges. Again, fine, but I think that's really all I have to say. But it's a really fun game. If you haven't played it, you should do your favor and purchase that shit immediately as soon as you can. I highly recommend it, especially for somebody who's not the biggest Spider-Man fan. I don't know, I feel he's overmarketed. That's really all I have to say, unless there's something I forgot. A topic got brought up. It's like, oh, Laura Bailey is Mary Jane. You know, I saw that in the credits after I beat the game, and it's like, oh, so her performance was really solid. She didn't sound squeaky and really childlike in it, like she was as Maka from Soul Eater or Rise Kuchikawa from Persona 4. I mean, I like those characters just fine, but they're usually my least favorites. Lesser favorite characters because I can't stand their English voices. It's like, I mean, I'm more of a, well, in terms of anime, I don't know which one I prefer, dub or sub. I mean, I'll still watch dub and not be bothered by it, but because of a friend of mine, I have grown more towards watching subs as opposed to dubs. And I watched an anime with a friend of mine the other day, and it was an anime I'd rather forget about, honestly. I am not going to bother telling you guys about it. Okay, you're going to go ahead and tell me that. And it was a bit awkward to watch because, oh, cool. Off topic. It's not really worth it to tell me where the, god damn it, tell me where the stupid thing is, because it's just like, well, you have to go here, but it's like, oh, you don't have all the artifacts, and so screw you then. It's like unnecessarily forced backtracking. This is where the backtracking is at its absolute worst. I mean, in the case of Pirate's Curse, which I don't like Shantae all that much because it has a lot of forced backtracking, but Because, hey, screw you, buddy. You have to wander around this world after 50 bajillion times. A bit, I mean, a bajillionth and one time is not gonna kill you. But, like, the time I enjoyed the backtracking in those games was when when I wanted to get all the items, and I 100%ed Half Genie Hero and Pirate's Curse, or at least I think I 100%ed Half Genie Hero. Can't really say. I don't really feel like I'm playing this on the Wii U, and my copy of Half Genie Hero is on the Wii U. I don't feel like buying it on the Switch that has all the DLC because I don't like the game very much. Because I have brought it up time. Oh, so I've brought it up time and time again throughout my Let's Plays why I don't really like Half Genie Hero. I like the art style, I just don't like the level. I just don't like the backtracking. It was like, there was a friend of mine, his girlfriend started playing it out of nowhere, and she's like, well, Shantae's cute. And like, well, that's great. And she gave up at, like, the desert level. Well, she's not very good at platformers, I'm not going to bother going into that. And she said that she had to backtrack to Burning Town after Mermaid Falls for the first time. Then it's like, oh, you have to go back to Burning Town to get something you missed. And she's like, well, I didn't find that bad. I mean, like, well, you gave up at, like, the best part of the game. I mean, like, half of the game is good. In my opinion, half the game is great. The other half is mediocre. I mean, no offense to anybody who enjoys it. If you enjoy it, that's by all means, go right ahead. I'm not going to try and tell you what to like and what you shouldn't like. It's like, well, that's because you've done it the first time. That's... Sorry, I was just adding to that previous thought. But, like, I liked the back and forth. I didn't like the backtracking in either of those games, or Pirate's Curse, you had to search for those giant sarcophaguses to unpetrify some guy. It's like, okay. That looks like a secret. Might as well look at the secret. Take a shot. On the second thought, don't, because I don't want to be responsible for someone dying of alcohol poisoning. Alright, let's go ahead and burn this guy to the ground. Oh, wow. Literally incinerated him, no pun intended. I've also been kind of thinking of going back to the new God of War. Oh, finish up my thoughts on Laura Bailey. Like, I think I said everything I need to. The only time that she doesn't bother me is when she's not playing a teenage girl, where she has the exact same voice. I mean, it makes me glad that she doesn't have the exact same annoying as hell voice. She voices with Risei Kujikawa and Maka from Soul Eater. I don't like her voice roles in anime. The only one that doesn't bother me that I can think of off the top of my head that I know she was a voice in was Lust from Full Metal Alchemist. It's like her performance there was fine. In the dub, her performance as Lust was fine. It was good enough. It was good enough because she wasn't trying to sound like a teenager. It's like, she's a fine enough actress. I just can't stand her when she's trying to be a teenager. It's really annoying. It's like, I mean, not gonna knock her. I mean, she's clearly successful for what she does, and I'm happy for her. Okay, sorry. Other talking points. I've already probably pissed off a good majority of the dub fandom. by saying I don't like Laura Bailey. I don't like a majority of her roles, is what I'm saying. I don't dislike all of her roles, I just dislike a majority of them, I guess. Well, never mind about that. So I guess the new God of War, like everybody was like losing their minds. Like everyone said it was gonna suck, and it's like, oh, it actually doesn't suck. We fooled you there. Haha, gotcha. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I kind of had the same opinion about it as Cat Icarus, but I think I got to the first Nordic realm and I just kind of stopped. I mean, it was my time to turn the game off anyways. Like, I restrict myself intentionally by playing less video games. Or no, playing less video games. The amount of time I play video game, maximum I only play up to 2 hours to let my console cool down, so I don't want to overheat it. I mean, of course, I kind of bend that rule sometimes. Alright, give me a second, I'm trying to... I think I already got that. Okay, so I've already been that way. I'm going to go this way. So you guys like pizza? Well, I only play like at minimum, at max, around 2 hours. If I'm like super hyped for a game and I'm just like, oh man, I've been waiting my whole life to play this game and I just can't get enough of it. Not 2 hours a day necessarily. It's more like 2 hours for each session, and at most. The usual session time is like an hour and a half, usually slightly longer. Because I don't want to burn myself out playing the game, because I want to just pace myself and enjoy it. And like God of War, I've been doing that. I've been playing it consistently. But then I got to the first realm, and I'm like, okay, time to call it a night, and I just had no desire to go back to it just yet. I don't know. It's also because I've been recording the footage, which I've realized that I have lately been, besides my Let's Plays, I've been forgetting about playing some games because I've been recording the footage, and I want to record the footage all the way, but of course, because of my recording software nonsense, and I tend to record for long stretches of time, like again 2 hours, it fills up that those hard drives are going to fill up really fast. And that's kind of why. But of course I have internet, so I don't have to record footage nearly as much, so it's... I mean, I'll like do that for fighting games and all that. Look at that. 2 birds with 1 pillow. Perfect. And there's another Chozo artifact on the way, so might as well keep this hype train a-rolling. Oh, it's 2? Okay, well... I will cut out and see if I can find the last one. Would have to retrace my steps in order to figure out where it is. Like the new God of War, I dig the ambition. It's just that the combat wasn't nearly as fun. It's fun enough, but you know, it's just like you kind of like the older games a little better. The new God of War is, I mean, I know it's a little early in saying this because it's like, oh, I haven't finished the game, but I do think it's better than the Origins games, Chains of Olympus and Ghosts of Sparta, and I guess to an extent Ascension, because Ascension has that stupid difficulty spike near the end of the game. I mean, Ascension would be top 3 best God of Wars in my opinion, simply for the gameplay if it wasn't for that fucking trial. It's a stupid ass gauntlet of some of the most powerful enemies in the game. And those enemies can kick your ass because there's so many, not just because again, there's some of the strongest enemies in the entire game, but also because Okay, sorry, give me a second. I'm trying to map the whole area out. There, I've already gotten that one. I know this for a fact. So, cancel that. Failed miserably. Damn it. Just don't want to deal with these war wasps. Perfect. Okay. But I already know what happens. Like, Catacurus has admittedly kind of spoiled... His review has kind of spoiled it for me. It's like, oh, we get to fight Thor. And I'm like, well, I never finished the game, so that means jack shit to me. I mean, yes, it's a game I would like to finish someday. It's a lot like Xenosaga. And an ever-growing list of video games I still have yet to watch. Play. I don't know why I said watch. Not like I'm trying to binge watch all the movies, all the Marvel movies before Infinity War, which I have seen every single movie, unfortunately. Fortunately and unfortunately, because Thor the Dark World and Iron Man 2 are a thing. Um, Gotta be honest, I don't know where the last Chozo artifact is. So, yeah, I don't know where it is. Okay, so no artifacts. Well, Sun Chamber, High Top Power, Ruin Home. Yep, that's the one I'm going for now. Okay, this. Well, shit! I have to go back to Phendrana's Drifts, but yeah, I'm not gonna make you guys sit through the entire backtracking process of trying to get that last stupid thing. And now, here, we have to fight more Chozo ghosts. That's just lovely, isn't it? And, yeah, you have to go back to where you fought the Flagra, which is always a fun time, isn't it? Because, not the fight with the Flagra isn't bad. It's a solid fight. But, of course, you have the X-ray visor. It means these ghosts are no joke. No joke. These ghosts are a joke. Okay, I would never succeed as a comedian. I mean, I like how the entire area gets dimmed, which is really cool. Okay, but before I have to backtrack to Phendrana Drifts yet again, I am going to go right ahead and look see if there's any items I missed. Here in Phendrana. Okay. So, just... Oh, so there is an area I have failed to visit. So, you know what? I think I might have... Nope! Okay. So, I'm just going to go ahead and walk all the way to that area, just trying to talk about nonsense along the way. Like so, like the Spyro, I mentioned earlier in the episode, like Spyro Trilogy is, like I bought the Spyro Trilogy on PS1. I kind of decided that's one game I wanted to play through, but of course Kingdom Hearts 3 is on the way, as I've probably mentioned at least once or twice, which I am super excited for. And it's my most hyped game from this E3. And like, yes, I'm more excited for not Metroid Prime 4. I am excited for Metroid Prime 4, but don't have a lot to go off of except for the fact that the game exists. Oh, that's why. That's because there was no point to going in there because it's just a pathway, isn't it? Well, I guess I don't remember every single thing late game about this game, so you guys are just gonna have to go through with it. So, sorry. But I'm especially excited to finish this game because I get to finish one of my favorite games of all time yet again. But, nope, that's not the way. I unintentionally went the wrong way. I'm such a dumb. Eh. I'm just really hoping that there's another thing along the way. We're gonna start it off, but so I think that I want to binge play the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise before Kingdom Hearts, at least before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, which so I'm in the middle. I'm mid-game through Kingdom Hearts 1 on PS4, which is always a good time because I like that. But there's also the Spyro trilogy, which I do want to play before playing the Reignited trilogy, which I'm pretty excited for because, I mean, I wasn't too super excited for the Crash trilogy. Dang it! It didn't jump. I swear to God. If I had a face cam, which I don't, if I did, not that I would use it, but you would definitely see I was wiggling the remote to try to get myself to jump. Um, yeah, no thanks. I'm just gonna go ahead and skip these because I don't want to waste my time fighting Chozo ghosts. Like, I don't like the Chozo ghosts. I don't like the paraglider dudes, and I especially don't like. Please tell me there's something in here. Well, nope. This was a waste of time, wasn't it? Yeah, this was a complete waste of time. Okay. Well, I already got this Chozo artifact, and as a result, I got everything. So I'm gonna see you guys back at the location where the last Chozo artifact is, and I will collect any item I remember along the way. So, B or B. Okay, so remember this one part I said remember it because there's a power up I can collect here? Well, it turns out I didn't remember it, but of course, because I think I might have remembered trying to do this in an old recording session and I just forgot or something like that. I have no idea, but here we're gonna go ahead and collect this SLB right in here now. It's like, oh, that's why. Because there's a power up here, I just forgot to go up there. Well, doesn't that really paint how intelligent I am, or something or other? Okay. And yay, we went through all that trouble for yet another missile expansion. It's probably going to be the last thing I collect besides this last thing, and if only this game had fast travel, it would be a flawless masterpiece. You know, this is something I could definitely stare at all day. It's like all the purple and seeing all the orange glow like that. And also, blue crystals, aren't those supposed to be ice crystals? Why are they glowing specifically? And also, how the fuck could I forget that this was here? Yeah. See, really trying to spend all those profanity points. That's shit. Okay. It's like, you know, I had a thought since I'm pretty sure everybody knows what's coming up immediately after this, but I kind of want to discuss some of my thoughts on the the new Smash Bros characters, which, of course, the new Smash Bros. I'm pretty sure I talked about it at least once. I'm pretty sure I talked about it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I talked about it at least once or twice, but no, I think that was in the Final Fantasy IX recent episodes. But in this here, I want to talk about my thoughts on every single character that's been announced so far. Again, it's the end of September, and the most recent Nintendo Direct was the 13th, I believe. Yeah, it was the 13th, which I had to miss for reasons. I'd rather not talk about that, but It's like, so, no. Oh, where am I? Oh, there I am. So in order, chronological order, I want to talk about, like, my basic reactions to, like, that son of a bitch. Okay. I want to talk about, like, so the first Smash teaser was like, oh, Inklings are going to be in Smash, which nobody was surprised about. If only I could just be patient, swing back, and then swing forward, which nobody was surprised about, which I wasn't really surprised. Like, who could? Because Nintendo has a absolute god damn it. Well, here's a fun drinking game you can play. Every time Yojimbo fucks up on the grapple beam, go right ahead and what the hell? Why won't it? Why can't I latch on? That's bullshit. I mean, I know Vendrana's Edge. Okay, that's just stupid. So, Inklings, nobody was surprised. I'm interested to see how they play. They're probably going to be a bit too technical for my taste, but who knows? I might find them really enjoyable. Ridley, flatline. This E3 killed me through sheer excitement. I mean, oh, but that's a little disrespectful to say because that recently, for those of you who don't know, there's a guy. There was a guy, a part of the Countdown community. At least I think I don't know the guy. So, confession time. I actually don't know any of the members of Chaos Theater. It's like, so yeah, I'm kind of a lying sack of crap. Kind of a bad thing to say in the middle of this, but it's like, I heard he actually got to play the Chris guy. I don't know like I said, I don't know any of them, but like, I also didn't know him. I didn't even know he was a thing until I heard the news about, like, oh, there's the kid who dying of cancer, which that's actually a pretty legit terrible thing to happen. And I heard the news, and I'm like, I'm very jealous, but I'm happy that he still got to play Smash Bros. Well, a couple days ago, like 4 days ago, as of the time I recorded this, September 28th, he has actually, I heard he passed away. And I never met the guy, but I felt bad. But I'm glad he at least got his wish fulfilled to play the new Smash before he passed on. And like, he got to experience it way earlier than most of us. So, happy trails, Chris, even though I never met you. Okay. But assuming for those of you who haven't left the video after my little confession, I'm just going to... Okay, I'm probably gonna have to look this up. I cannot find this stupid artifact anywhere. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's right here. I just forgot that it was even there. Okay. Last chosen artifact. Yay. So, real quick, Ridley, I flatlined because I was so excited because, yes, finally another Metroid character. And then Simon took me a while to see that it was Castlevania. I'm like, wait, what is this? I didn't want to jump to conclusions that it was Castlevania. Then I saw the Medusa head. Like this isn't Castlevania, is it? And then I saw the Grim Reaper. I'm like, yep, it's Castlevania. And I got pretty excited. Then I saw Simon's design. I'm like, all right, then that's a little disappointing. But yay, we finally get Simon, and we got Richter as a bonus. And I will absolutely main Richter, not Simon, because I don't like that design personally. I'm gonna have to wrap this up real quick. Crom said to myself, "Fucking why though?" It's like, yeah, we get it. They like to have JO set. Japan loves to have JO sessions in front of Fire Emblem character art. It's like, yes, we get it. I don't care. Then I saw his playstyle. I'm like, okay, well, I'm willing to put him a little higher on my hype list because it'll be interesting to see how he plays. if he's just another Marth clone, but he has Ike's up B, or if he's a mixture of both characters. That'll be very interesting. Dark Samus, I'm pretty hyped for, even though she's just a clone of Samus, which is a little disappointing. But yay, we finally get more Metroid characters. And King K. Rool, I'm not nearly as excited for him as a friend of mine is, but I'm pretty hyped for him nonetheless. Very excited to see how he'll play. And then Isabella, who's the most recent character, I was like, why? I mean, like, I'm happy for the Animal Crossing fans, which basically means I'm still thinking, fucking why though? Because who gives a shit about Isabella? I mean, clearly not me, because I don't like Animal Crossing. I think it's my least favorite Nintendo franchise. It's like the only Nintendo franchise I can think of off the top of my head that I played that I don't like. I've played New Leaf and I got bored with it after 2 hours in. I mean, I understand the appeal, I guess, but at the same time, like, I don't get it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode here, and I'm just gonna see you guys back at the Artifact Temple so we can go ahead and finish this game. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the very last episode, so take care.